Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached a sort of a critical mass, and I can hear it has gotten a little bit quieter out there for the coffee. So thank you all very much for joining us again this afternoon. We are going to be hearing community pitching. I'm still Jennifer Baker, still your moderator today, but the really important people we're going to hear about is we're going to hear from 8 innovators who are going to tell us what they need. It's very low-key. We haven't told people what they have to say. They're going to either ask for ideas, they're going to tell you their ideas, they're going to ask for partnerships. It's like an open mic night at your local bar, maybe with some jokes as well, or maybe without the jokes. But please join me on stage, my wonderful speakers. We have Erona Chieda, we have Matteo Sabini, we have Lisette Puis, and Fulden Jensel. Please. As well as Elisa Veano, Edward Siwilinski, Luis Martins, and Gonzalo Amorim. Okay, so the plan is that each of the speakers has 5 minutes to give you their pitch, set out their stall, tell you what they want you to know, and I will take one follow-up question from the audience afterwards. So if you have a question, get your hand up really fast because we have a lot to get through, and it's only going to be one question per pitcher. So let's start. Erona Chieda, Institute of Animal Reproduction and Food Research at the Polish Academy of Sciences. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I know you all had probably lunch during the break, but I hope that you are still hungry, as I'm about to share with you what me and my colleagues from the Annual Food Agenda project have been cooking for the last 1,095 days. So let's meet the cooks. As you know, my name is Iwona. I'm a senior project manager at the Polish Academy of Sciences. We are a partner of the public engagement Annual Food Agenda project that was run for 3 years in 6 European Union countries by 12 EIT Food partners under the guidance of our top chef, Sara Castillo from India Food, Spain. Yeah, we can change the slide. We are the people from research, academia, business, and NGOs who have joined forces to create a series of robust recipes on how to boost the engagement of young consumers with the food system and how to encourage them to make improved choices for their health and the health of our planet. How did we do that? How did we approach that? By inviting young consumers to the table with all actors of the entire food value chain and serving them with tasty and juicy knowledge that is trusted, reliable, and science-based knowledge on food, not forgetting that the serving is as equally important as the juicy content, all making the experience not only educational for them, but also fun. So let's bite into details. So during this 1,095 days, we engaged with over 10,000 consumers, serving them with the knowledge on healthier nutrition, sustainable aquaculture, sustainable agriculture, circular economy, and we did this by developing a number of educational materials and public engagement event concepts. So what's in the menu, you could ask? A series of step-by-step scenarios on workshops in food research labs, study visits in food production plants, webinars, summer camps, escape rooms, food festivals, radio broadcasts, but also animated videos on food waste, personalized nutrition, comic books on microplastic environmental imprint, podcasts, infographics on antioxidants, reading food labels, food allergies, facts and myths of gluten-free diets. And all of them are available in multiple local language versions, and they were created with taking into consideration the concerns of consumers in different regions of Europe. The specials of the day is the Annual Food Agenda School Kit that you can see on the slide. This is a a cookbook for research organizations and academic organizations and business partners on how to develop their own networks with schools and deliver knowledge on food to the students. This is also a true jar of educational materials and step-by-step scenarios for having classes in for different grades of students, and to make sure that we are able to engage the future food generation into tackling the challenges we are facing. And we are a community, a family, and a family should share. So we are sharing with you the valuable content we created in the project, hoping that you would use it in your existing and future initiatives. So please make most of this family table and contact me for more spicy details. Thank you.
Thank you. Has anyone in our audience got a question? Anyone? Hands up? No one? Okay, I'm going to ask a quick question. You're saying this is aimed at children. What sort of age groups and why those age groups?
So we are focusing on the young generation of consumers, so students from primary and secondary schools who are now developing their eating routines, their eating habits, and we want to make sure that they are able to enter this world as conscious consumers who are not only protective of their well-being, but also the well-being of the planet.
Thank you very much, Ivona. Very well done. We have Matteo Sabini next, European Food Information Council.
Thank you. A world where the people live healthier lives because they know how to. That's the EIT vision, and we are putting this into place, providing science-based information on how they can choose healthier and more sustainable lifestyles and diets. But in front of us, we have some issues, some challenges that we need to tackle to implement this. First of all, science is complex. Even if it affects our daily lives, it must be communicated, making sure that people can understand what science is doing. And you know also that there's another big challenge that in particular in social media, there is a lot of false information about science, and this can affect how the people act. And also, talking about the consumer behavior, today, we heard about the speech of the representative of the European Commission saying how much it is important to tackle the consumer behavior. And just one data to show you how much this is important. Consider that the 60% of food waste happens at home. So this is really important to work on consumer behaviors. And as a solution, UFIC is doing a lot of consumer behavior research activities to better understand how to inspire them to change their habits, what are the messages that should be delivered, and so on. Moreover, we are doing consumer awareness campaigns in order to provide science-based information, as well as we are quickly acting when there is a false information that's spread on social media through articles containing science-based evidence. And then, of course, we are doing this also thanks to the European funded projects, and also the one that are provided by the EIT Food, so Grand Challenge, Consumer Trust, Trust Tracker, just to mention some of them. But why us? And here, if you can change the slide, please. Why us? Because we are working in these fields. We work in these fields for the last 25 years because we are managing more than 60 projects and we made more than 70 publications because we have a large audience and, for instance, 4 million visitors per year in our website and more than 120,000 followers on our social media. Because we are an open and neutral platform for stakeholders that want to interact, collaborate on those topics. And because we select 4 long-term goals to reach, to achieve the big vision that we have in our minds. Those long-term goals are the diet shift, how to inspire people to do this diet shift that is needed, the food and health literacy, behaviors that can prevent non-communicable diseases, and how to tackle the food waste. So what we can do together? First of all, we can do together research activities on consumer behaviors. Then we can develop together projects, proposals for EU funding programs. We can do together some awareness-raising campaigns on these topics, targeting the large public. And the other thing that we can do together is to work in training activities on science communication and also on regarding topics on consumer behaviors. So as you see, today and the day after tomorrow, we are here with my colleagues, Betty and Julia. So if you are interested in a partnership with us, let's discuss, let's have a chat together during the networking session, and let's work together to deliver impact in the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Matteo. Any question for Matteo? No? Okay, Matteo, I have a question. What's the first thing someone should say to you when they come up to you, or Betty or Julia, in these networking sessions? What do you want to hear?
It's just a field on which we can collaborate, and then we can find together what to do.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have Lisette Pris from Mama's Chef. Tell us all about that. Thank you.
Can I use this one?
Yeah, if it
Yeah? Okay, perfect. Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisette, and last year I graduated from the Masters in Food Systems, which is coordinated by the EIT Food and taught by several universities across Europe. During the entrepreneurial summer course of the Masters, a startup idea came to life, which I now call Mama Chef. Mama Chef will help mothers to achieve a healthy recovery after childbirth, as well as to reduce the risk of developing postpartum depression through food boxes that offer healthy and easy meals. Change slides, please. Did you know that 70 to 80% of all new mothers have to deal with the baby blues, which is very similar to someone having depression? Fortunately, these will disappear after around 4 weeks. But for at least 17 to 17% will develop a postpartum depression, making postpartum depression one of the most common complications of childbearing. It is commonly known that several factors play a role in the development of postpartum depression, including lifestyle factors such as diet. And one of the first studies confirming this was conducted in Greece in 2010. From 500 participants, 50% showed lower levels of PPD symptoms when following a health-conscious dietary pattern, which was characterized by eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, pulses, dairy products, fish, and olive oil, showing that improving one's diet can help reduce the risk of postpartum depression. So the saying, good food equals good mood, is not for nothing after all. In addition, mothers in their postpartum period are often depleted in various nutrients, such as zinc, iron, and various B vitamins. And evidence shows that deficiencies in these nutrients have a negative impact on mental health. So therefore, Mama Chef will offer the meal service to offer mothers easy meals that will help to save time, as most moms could use some, to support the recovery process after childbirth, both mentally and physically, as well as to prevent nutrient deficiencies and improve mood. So at the moment, I'm working to gain a better in-depth understanding of my target market and to finalize the final product. As well as that, I'm looking for a co-founder. But more importantly, I need 1 or 2 persons who would want to become my brain trust for Mama Chef with experience in the food industry in order to push this product further. Because of Mama Chef, I think there's a great need to support those that raise our future generations. So if you would like to connect, please find me in the networking session. And please remember, your health is a bank account. Good food choices are good investments. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Lisetta? Any hands going up? Yes, down here, just right at the back. No, let's get the microphone because we won't be able to hear you on the feed.
Very quickly, how are you going to get these new meals to these new chefs, new mothers? Sorry.
Sorry, how
are you going to get the meals actually to the new mothers? What distribution?
It would be like a delivery meal service plan, like what already is existing partly. So yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Lisette. Now. Fulden from the EIT Food Hub in Turkey, Foodback, and do scan the QR code to get in touch.
Merhaba, hello to you all. I'm Fulden from EIT Food Hub Turkey, aka Impact Hub Istanbul, and its agri-food platform called Foodback. At Foodback, we connect bridges between entrepreneurs, corporate companies, academia, producers, consumers, whatever comes to your mind. We nurture them with proper education or programs and trainings we produce and we design. And we expand their audience if they want to Europe, if they want to reach Europe, with actually the power of being an EIT food hub. But today I will be talking about the Connect pillar I just mentioned. The biggest challenges we have in Turkey is that people want to solve their problems on their own. Well, yeah. And we think that it's not going to happen without any collaboration in between. So we design different opportunities to solve that issue. And for example, I'll give you 2 examples to solve this argument. And one of them is the startup matchmaking event we did with the Italian embassy in Turkey. We did a collaboration with them. So Turkish agri-food startups came together with Italian companies, producers, and they had the chance the Italian producers or the companies had the chance to see what Turkish startups can offer them and which type of technologies we have. And also they had the chance to invest in them or build collaborations in between. So actually 9 startups from Turkey and 7 corporate companies from Italy get together in this event, and almost half of them made collaborations, and also they started to talk in between and they talked to each other. And the other one is the newest program we have in Impact Hub Istanbul, which is called Partner Up. Partner Up is a capacity building program for impact-oriented startups based in Istanbul. And it will help them to measure their impact and also manage their impact, and also access to market, and then build collaborations between the corporates. During the 5-month period of the first cycle, now actually we're in the edge of the second cycle, startups get different mentorship programs. They had to speak with mentors how to develop themselves better. And also they had the chance to meet with corporate companies in Turkey. At the end of the first cycle, 10 matchmaking events we did, and in 10 startups with 18 companies get together and started their collaborations as well. Well, I think you're seeing where I'm going at. So we want to continue these programs as well in Turkey. And we really think that nothing can be done without collaboration. And it will actually broaden our impact more and more. And so we want to do these programs in the future. And I'm kind of asking you to find me I'll be here for 2 days, and we can discuss what we can do together. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Fulden? Anyone?
Nothing.
No? Well, I'm going to ask you then, making connections, it's quite hard to quantify how successfully those. Do you have any plans for how to measure the success of the project?
Yeah, actually we have some tools to measure the impact, but as I was talking with some friends before this pitching, it's very hard to measure impact after a program. So we have to do it before and after, and we have to actually like calculate it really good. And since these are tailor-made programs for each company's problems, let's say, we have to be really careful, and we have to be like on every step of the way. So we like to work with companies and startups very closely, and now we have more than 200 startups in our closed network, and also corporate companies as well. So it's actually being friends with them and actually see what they need, and then we measure the impact afterwards.
Well, good. Lots of happy networking coming up, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Elisa Vaniano is from Baltic Sea Action Group, and another QR code, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to reach out for networking in the margins.
Yes, thank you. It's great to be here. So I come from the Baltic Sea Action Group, which is a non-profit foundation. It's based in Finland, and our main goal is to protect the Baltic Sea. It's good to balance its ecological condition in the changing climate conditions. So why am I here then if we are the Baltic Sea Foundation? We have actions both on land and also on sea. So our on land actions, they are focusing around soil health and promoting regenerative agriculture. So this is what brings me here to this event today. We are coordinating a platform which is called Carbon Action, and through this QR code you will actually get to the Carbon Action webpage in English. The Carbon Action collects together everything that we do on land, as I said. So we bring together farmers, researchers, companies, mainly from the food value chain, the decision makers. We bring people together to work on this. So this is what was already mentioned here several times, and just before lunch break, we need to act together to bring everyone together. So this is what we do in BSHE. We call ourselves as a matchmaker. We aim for the transition in the food system and promoting the regenerative farming practices. At the moment, in the Carbon Action as a whole, we have 21 different projects. Most of them are research projects, including also the farmers and the food chain companies. And our role in the BSHE role in these projects is very often communicating and coordinating the work and disseminating the information and popularize all the knowledge. At the moment we have 14 different companies also working with us. And 100 different pilot farms around Finland where these different farming practices are being tested. So once more, why we are doing this? We have these three major challenges are related to the Baltic Sea, especially the nutrient flows to the Baltic Sea, erosion, also the climate change and the biodiversity loss. And that's why we are, through this regenerative agriculture, we are of course aiming towards healthy soils, and with healthy soils we aim to mitigate all these challenges at the same time. So with soil health we gain multiple benefits. I know that many of you here already know this. And again, this will happen by changing the common farming practices. In the Carbon Action Platform, we also provide plenty of materials freely available to the farmers, as well as many other, anyone else interested. So behind the QR code, you can find these different materials, and most of them are available in Finnish and Swedish at the moment. So if there are Swedish-speaking audience, there is also a whole e-college, e-course about regenerate agri. But the good news is that we will have that material, the short version, also available in English soon. But now to the second slide, please. This is the background in what we do in BSHE. But here is something for you as well. So join us next summer in Helsinki. We will organize this 4 per Mill Northern Europe regional event. And this will be organized by the Baltic Sea Action Group, by the 4 per Mill initiative, and also we have sponsors like EIT Food is sponsoring the event, and also Helsinki Uusimaa Region Council. You will find this event under the EIT Food events in the webpage. So just go to the last page, because this will be next summer. So it will be available on the last page. And I know many of you here know what the 4 per Mill initiative is, but just to remind you, it is a global initiative trying to increase the carbon in the soil. And that's why we have the name for this event, is More Carbon in the Soil, targeting for multiple benefits. If you have any questions, please come and ask me directly, or one question is allowed now, I guess.
Or you can ask a
Thank you.
question now. Thank you very much. So anyone got anything they would like to ask? In which case, my follow-up for you is, what is it you need most at the moment in terms of a knowledge input from a partner? Was there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I think that we need all of you to continue the good work you are doing regarding the soil health and regenerative agriculture, to upscale this throughout the Europe and worldwide, and to share this knowledge among each other. That's the important thing.
Thank you very much. Next, thank you very much, Edward Slavinsky from the European Federation of Food Science and Technology, and I know you're involved in R&D as well.
Welcome everybody, it's really a pleasure to be here. My name is Edward Slavinsky. I'm a senior R&D manager in EFFOST, that's the European Federation for Food Science and Technology. And we are a membership organization. We have more than 130 members within Europe, mostly academic partners. We are responsible for 3 scientific journals, and we also organize an annual conference for food science and technologists, where we have mostly about 600 people attending. Of course, a lot of really highly experienced scientists, but also a lot of young scientists, young PhDs, young postdocs, and it's really fun for them to share their information. Apart from this, we are also active and we initiate EU research projects. And we recently initiated a new one, started the 1st of September, which is called Titan. And this project is about building a more transparent and sustainable supply chain. So when you want to remember transparent, then look at my badge. This is to symbolize transparency. It was described by someone from the European Committee only recently as a very ambitious project where a lot of SMEs are involved. And that is exactly true. The core of the project is where we have 15 pilots that address food safety, sustainability and health. And within every box we have more or less 5 pilots. What is key for us is that we wanted the results to be commercially applied after the ending of the project. So what we did is we approached promising SMEs to come up with ideas that they wanted to develop in this project. And then they could get support from academia when they needed this. And of course, the EIT is really important in this respect because you educate and train a lot of SMEs. So part of the set that we have in were Rising Food Stars, or they have been involved in a program. And I can mention Microbiome from Italy, Agrono from Greece, Agricolis from Italy, Agri Marketplace from Portugal, and AI Talentum from Spain. And I've seen some people already from these companies. But apart from this, we also have some really promising SMEs outside of the EIT. And it's really nice to mention this because one startup was in fact too young for the European Commission, so they didn't want to fund this SME. So still the organization where the SME came from is funded. But we have Neoxenica, that is from Portugal. We have Total Control, maybe you heard about it. Their main goal is to reduce food waste, and they're really flying at this moment, and not only talking about reduction of food waste, but also about scaling. That's the stage where we want the SMEs to be in. We have a Quality Chain from Switzerland, Devonish from Northern Ireland, and I think that's more or less. So what I would like to discuss with you is that we want to set up an ecosystem on transparency. So when you have activities in this area, please come and talk to me. I know there's a separate session about transparency, I think later today, where we can have discussions. And please go to LinkedIn, to Titan Project EU, and look at the posts that you already have and follow us. That would be really nice. And then the last thing that I want to mention is that next year we will have an open call. So we will invite 8 new pilots in our project. So when you have ideas, think about it and talk with me or with the project and make a proposal at the right time, and then maybe you get funded. That's it.
Thank you, Edward. Questions for Edward? Thoughts? No? Well, let me ask then. You mentioned there, one SME said too small for a startup, too young for the Commission. But what was it that made you take the chance on it if they're saying it's such an early stage?
Well, there was a really interesting technology developed, rapid DNA-based testing, a lab on a chip. It was, of course, developed in that institute, but the scientists that developed, they wanted to start up their own company. So they were really at the intermediate stage, but the technology was really good, so we wanted to have them in.
So if innovation's good enough, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Edward. Round of applause. Luis Martins, Food for Sustainability. Tell us all about that, please.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Luis. I'm operations researcher in Food for Sustainability, a collaborative laboratory in Portugal, and we are a non-profit organization focused on the sustainable agriculture and sustainable food production, either by agriculture, but also with aquaculture systems. As you may know, the fish represents about 17% of protein, total animal protein produced, and 7% of the total animal protein consumed globally. In the last 30 years, the aquaculture system has improved and has raised about 500%. But the sustainable and the feeds is not accompanying this growing. So we are here to develop a project for the feed for aquaculture using sustainable byproducts, including from olive palms, using almond hulls, and all the types of agri-food products and to produce the insects and the larvae insects. Indeed, the fish are also consumed in the natural diet insects, but the sustainability of the production of larvae is not sustainable with the current technology. So we are trying to develop and using these type of byproducts from agriculture and other types of agri-food waste to provide a feed to the insect larvae, but also to formulate and enhance the performance of this type of feed for aquaculture. Comparing and using this technology and these formulas to have the similar yields of conventional feeds that are using now the unsustainable sources of fish, including the fish meals. The project is called, as you see in the QR code, feed for aquaculture. And we are a consortium with 5 entities, Portugal and Bulgaria ones, that will produce the insects. And we are trying to merge, and we are looking here for a partner that could be commercialized and to produce with industrial quantities the 3 types of formulas. To wrap up this project, the Feed for Aquaculture is insect and microalgae based feed to look and improve the sustainability of this food system, including for aquaculture and using in the aquaponic system. But the presence of this type of nutrients will be engaged and improve the nutrition of this type of feeds. So we can talk after this session, and if there is a partner, it is a pleasure to meet. Thank you.
Thank you. And have we any burning questions? I'm starting to think no one wants to put their hand up at this point in the game. All right, well, let me ask you, when somebody comes out and approaches you outside of the networking, what's the key thing you want to hear or that you would like to be hearing from them?
Now I'm trying to best and get the better information about the food system and improve the sustainability of the food system. As Lucas Vizeki told, we have to move, you have to change all the policy and look for the sustainability of the food system.
And what are you particularly looking for in a partner?
Yes.
Yep, that, okay. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Gonzalo Amorim, founder and CEO of BGI. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good news is that I'm the last in line, I guess, right? Bad news is that I will still be pitching about agriculture and a bit of technical subject, which I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So Luis mentioned just a while ago that Europe consumes a lot of fish, and the bad news is that over a fifth of these only produces a fifth of these fish, and over 4/5 are imported from around the world using mostly unsustainable food production systems. So what we want is to change this paradigm. We have been developing for the last few years with international partners sustainable aquaculture systems, which I will tell you a bit more about. So what are the challenges in developing these systems, and why is it not yet a mainstream approach? First of all, aquaculture is typically a system that's closed, and nutrient cycle and the waste that is generated from these systems is quite high. So we need to improve that, the waste from these systems. Number 2, nutrient cycling is also an issue, and of course, not to mention the feed that the fish meal and fish oils that fish consume, which is also a big burden on the natural resources of fish stocks. And finally, the water savings is also an issue. Controlling the nutrient cycling and bacteria involved in systems, all of these 3 combined really makes such systems hard to balance. So we have been working with international partners for a few years now, and we solved all of these 3 challenges. Not only we improved the yields, as we improve the cost of such production systems, as we are combining aquaculture with hydroponics. It's been mentioned this morning, hydroponics, how it's changing some of the food paradigms in Africa. We want to combine these 2 systems with microalgae in order to take the micronutrients cycling to an optimum level. So, not easy to do, but possible to do. It's been done. We've been tested at small scale, and now where we are, we've secured a plot of 15,000 square meters in a major location in Portugal. We're looking for partners to scaling this project up. So hopefully, if you're interested, hopefully we can talk more in the coffee break, how we can partner. And of course, we want to scale also not only in Portugal, but also European-wide. This is the stage where we are, of course, and as I mentioned, we bring together state-of-the-art approaches, and our innovation is pretty much focused on what Andy was talking this morning, in fact, systems innovation approach. So taking different pieces, blocks of innovation, combining them in order to solve quite complex challenges. This is us. Please scan the QR code. There's a bit more technical information for you guys there. And if you're interested, come and talk to us for sure. I'm really super excited about this opportunity. Thank you.
Questions? I don't see any hands, but as always, I have been listening and I want to know, what stage are we at? You've gone beyond the proof of concept stage for the technology. So are we at scale-up stage rather than start-up stage?
We've tried at 500 Alpha 10 for now, but we want to scale it to now 5 tons and then to 50 tons. So this is where we are today.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Right, big round of applause. So, well, we're a little bit early, which is almost never happens at events, but I'm blaming you, the audience, because you had no questions for all of our brave speakers, and this was a completely open call. They could get up and say whatever they wanted against the clock. So a big round of applause for all 8 of them, please. But since everyone had so shy and so quiet this today and didn't want to ask too many questions, let's have a little bit of an extended networking break where you can all ask questions one-on-one. When you go out for your coffee break now, you've gained an extra 10 minutes, so please do mingle and talk to each other and really look at those conversation starters on each other's badges to really get that going. We're also going to try and take a big family photograph of everyone who is here today. If we can kind of assemble out there, there'll be hosts steering you in the right direction so we can get as many people squeezed into one photograph as possible. After this break, we will come back to those 3 breakout sessions. Breakout session 1 is the net zero food system. Session 2 is healthier lives through food. Session 3 is, as was mentioned, the transparency session and resilient and fair food systems. So session 1, session 2, session 3. You can see where they are. Counterintuitively, session 1 is actually in conversation zone 2, which is outside. Session 2 is in zone 1, which is here. And session 3, which is wrong on your badges, is actually in zone 3 outside. If you should have registered for one of these, but if you're lost, go and ask at the registration desk. They will be able to steer you to wherever you were registered. So please do enjoy that. And then after that session, don't go away, because we have a very special awards ceremony which will be taking place out in the salon area. That's it for this stage, for the plenary sessions, but we hopefully will see you all again tomorrow. But don't go away, we'll see you again at the awards later on this evening. You can see there 6 winning initiatives for innovative solutions to reduce obesity and malnutrition in Europe, and a prize of €30,000, so you don't want to miss that. Enjoy your breakout sessions. See you in about an hour or so.